We are at her beautiful, beautiful shop here, talking about all things natural hair. So I have a list of questions I'm going to ask her about her business, about, being natural, and I really want you guys to maybe pick up on some tips, learn something, and also to connect with someone in the area. I will be having pop-ups on the screen, as well as links in the description box for all of her products, how you can reach her. She's an amazing person. Call, definitely get in touch with her, and I will definitely be leaving everything for you to do so. So let's get started.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you for having me here today. I am excited to be here. I have been natural for almost 9 years, and I have self-taught myself a lot of things, but I also, love to get, information from other naturals and people who are really doing it in this business, and who really can help others who are either whether starting on their journey, who been natural for several years, and to really, help them to be able to move along with their journey in an easier way.
And we do that.
Yes. So one of my first questions to you is, you have a wonderful line of products, hair sugar, and I am excited to really talk about what you do. So what is the inspiration behind creating this hair sugar line?
Okay, so the inspiration behind the hair sugar line is actually my mentor, Dr. Brown, and I scrubbed hands in services. And at the time I was actually teaching classes as well as doing hair. And the sugar lines began to develop out of me seeing, well, hey, if we can exfoliate dead skin cells from our skin, we need to do that regularly. It's looked at as a luxury, and it shouldn't be. It's a necessity.
Absolutely.
I found that would be a gentle way to address scalp issues as well. So I started intuiting different blends to use. We did sample out a lot of sugars on hands and feet, and just started to, over about a year or so, this was in 2010, develop out hair sugar, and I put together a mixer blend, the coconut lemon cake, and it was a hit with clients and customers, and they're like, can we do this at home? Can you put it in a jar? So I would say first my mentor, second that would then be clients who asked for it for years, to the point where we got to now where we're on the shelf in stores. Something that people were like, well, where's it going to be, and can it be here, can it be there, and started looking at all the details of what it is like to put out product. So it all developed out of service. So without having clients to service, I would not have had a need to even develop the sugar line. I had clients that had a lot of scalp issues, and not to get too deep into like that scalp part, but instead of having to lift flakes out with my fingers, or what could be the end of a comb, and that can break skin, be abrasive, and lift up, and it could cause inflammation in the scalp, or where it's already inflamed. If you move the wrong dead skin cell in the wrong way, it's going to make it like a scalp open wound. So you don't want that. So in the gentleness of the sugar, and they're activated sugar, so I do activate them, so they're 1,000 times more absorbent than what would be a kitchen table sugar. It's not sugar just tossed into a container and sold. It's a 12-day process of creating and making this activated hair sugar blend, or blends, because now there are 5. So gently, the scrub exfoliates in the scalp.
I find that, using products like this is all a part of really caring for our natural hair, and really caring for it at the root, because
Yes.
And that's the most important, because if our roots are not cared for, the rest of the hair that comes out is not going to be healthy.
Exactly. So it's like I tell people, get your foot off my flower bed.
Yeah.
So that's what you're telling the dead skin cells. So it's like you're planting these seeds. The seeds are already in our bodies. They need to grow out. But if there are layers there that are blocking the growth, you gently move these dead skin cells. We're not taking away thousands of skin cell layers at once. It's microscopic. It's a gentle, gradual process. However, after the very first scrub, you feel the benefits. So you're going to feel that your scalp feels more awake, you know, it feels very clean, and the hair is more defined overall. And it's like, oh.
Now, are we using the hair sugar with the conditioner as often as we would use like a third-party shampoo?
So the sugar is a replacement for shampoo.
Okay.
I'm not an advocate of shampoo at all, ever. I went natural in 1999, excuse me, June of 1999, and I've not shampooed since then. The option to shampoo was a black soap cleanser that we make, but it would be used every day, every other day, every week. So it's safe for you if you're doing wash and goes to wash your hair every day. Those who want faster results, they want to see more growth more readily, instead of waiting, doing a wash every 2 weeks. They may wash now every week, or some every other day, because they're like, wow, if I do this more often, my hair is going to be softer, I'm stimulating more growth, I'm moving more dead skin cells, because every day there's a new layer, and you'll see more growth in that way. But those who cannot, maybe just with the lifestyle, will stretch it out. You're still going to get results, just over a longer amount of time.
Wow. I also see that you do not only workshops for professionals, stylists, you also do classes for clients. And
Yes.
What is the biggest thing that you're trying to teach your clients?
So clients need this, so we always have naturals who have had all these varied experiences. Everything from a comb being raked through their hair in a salon, or an experience where they're working with someone who is not well versed in natural hair and they're no longer able to service them, they've evolved out of that. To those who have never been into a salon or hair practice atmosphere, and they're weary of going in and just really feel more comfortable taking care of hair at home. We're used to family taking care of hair. So I have a range of natural clients and their needs. You have mothers who don't know how to take care of their children's hair. This is very important for anyone who's considering becoming a mother, and also those who have now become mothers, to learn how to do hair. So we teach clients about not only your product use, so what ingredients to avoid. So it's specific to product, but ingredients would be the core, because it could be 10 different products that have similar ingredients. We're focused on the ingredients, then you choose the product. We do have recommendations, but this is like a guideline or a baseline of what's going to be good and natural for you and your family, what's going to get for some more bang for their buck. So it's like, you're doing this is going to get you results by using this conditioner. It's 32 ounces, the whole family can use it, and it's natural. So we teach them about product regimens, the when, the how to, like the who, what, why, when, and where. We will cover all of that. So classes will flow, or workshops in a way, even consultations, where you learn a few techniques. So clients do get to choose that. They're given options in terms of the level of consults that we have. Or if it's a group workshop, the group has already decided what they want to come in and learn. So it's like, okay, the basics on co-washing, which will include the sugar scrubbing, and then what your regimen is. Some come in for private consults where it's just the family, and we're going over all the product recommendations, choosing specific products for them to take the guesswork out of going into the market or whatever store you're going to go to, whether it's Whole Foods, Bed Bath & Beyond, Vitamin Shop, Ahava Felicidad, Hair and Body, Texture, Beauty Supply, Sensational, wherever they're going to go, Main Beauty, wherever they're going to go to get their products from, or even if they're buying online, what you should get, how much of it you're even going to be using. And then the technique practice is what's called a plus. So we add on the opportunity to, without taking a full 2 or 2.5 hour class, to learn a technique. Some get it really fast and they're like, oh, I got these, I'm going to start applying it at home right away. Others are like, oh, this is cool, but I want to take an entire class and do a full head and learn this. So teaching clients that who would not otherwise go somewhere else, now they don't have to struggle at home. Because we have this thing where like, well, no one would teach us. You're actually going to show us and teach us, so we're going to come to you. Because you go in the traditional salon atmosphere is different than a holistic care practice, or what we call workshops, and where we offer these different experiences, so that now this mom who wouldn't be able to just drop her daughters off or just go in, she wants to learn more about her hair. How do I do it at home? that's not taught in a traditional school sense or form, traditional cosmetology, is, you know, relaxer, cut, color, perm, not consulting and talking to your natural. You know, who's going to talk to you about your hair? We tell you how to do your hair, you're not going to come see us. So that's been one of the concerns. When I first started doing the consults in the way that I have, it was because people were coming to me and they're like, well, nobody wants to talk to me. They don't want to talk. They just like, I can style your hair for you. What would you like today?
Right.
But the conversation beyond, and some are really good, so it's not, because I do work with stylists as well and professionals who do this, but they weren't taught that in school per se. Every school is not the same. They're learning this and developing this out as they become more advanced in their field or training and what they decide to do and who they network and alliance with to learn more about this. Now the natural community is booming. It's still not as big as it could be, it's still growing, but now it's like, well, wow, they're gonna get everything off of YouTube if I don't do something. But I was already doing this 8 years ago, 9 years ago, 10 years ago. I mean, I've been doing hair since '86, but the consulting part really started in, like, I would say 2007, 2008 was when I got the first request for sitting down with clients and going over their products, because I'd done all this research and applied it for myself and was already using it, and then it developed out from there. So they get a lot.
I think it's hugely important because a lot of times when we go to salons and stylists to get our hair done, it's how do we care for it after we leave?
Yes.
And how do we maintain our hair?
Not just, hey girl, I'll see you in 2 weeks. What do I do?
What do I do, you know, within that time to maintain my hair?
Yes, I should be massaging daily, and what would I do that with? And we do the consult up front. Then you already know that. Some clients come in, they start on like a fast track, where to demo, and then we get the tips along the way. But those who choose to do that full-on, really detailed consult, they have all of that laid out for them ahead of the styling. So it depends on, you know, how they're coming in, but everyone does get some type of consult to say, this is a regimen, these are things you should be doing, and then you don't give everybody everything all at once because some of it can be overwhelming. So you wait and they're like, okay, now you got this part in, because I've had people who've never even washed their own hair who are now able to do that, and they're not going to not still see me. They're going to do these things at home. It's empowering, it feels good, the hair is better. So when you come in for that special style that you can't do yourself, we're working on this journey together. And
it's also empowering because you're helping mothers who are having daughters, and you know, and as a mother of a natural, you know, it sometimes it's hard. It's like, okay, maybe we can care for our own hair, but how do I care for my daughter's hair? And it's nice to know that, you know, you're able to come and get the tips and techniques and information on ingredients that are good and
hands-on. So we show that. We have moms like actively working in hair. It also helps to promote the bond. So I've done workshops on emotional intelligence. It's like, I've had moms come in and they're in shock and say, look, there's this book and there's a parent page and a kid page. The kids love this. So, well, what does your daughter like to do? Sometimes it's sons as well. And then say, well, she won't sit more than 15 minutes. Okay. So we look at the activities that can be done during hair time for all different learning styles and different levels of patience. So you have children who will watch a movie while they get their hair done, they're fine. But then you have the kids who are like 10, 15 minutes, I'm done. And I help mother understand that's okay. Okay, because this is personality and we're growing. So now you're gonna do this. Is this entertaining for 10 minutes? And then since we're helping with the process and the products, it's easier because, okay, I wet the hair, get the conditioner in, now you can take a break. And you just understand how you're carving out that self-time. This is a process that cannot always be rushed. You have to dedicate that time. So now that mom that wasn't even dedicating a lot of time to herself has to have that understanding as well. This is hair time. And this is the 2 hours that we've set aside out of our week to have this time. And that's what it's for. It's not for other things. It's hair time. So let's take this 10 or 15 minutes, go get a snack, come in on back. And it leaves more flexibility and this is specifically for the children that are a little bit more active. You know, I've seen everything. Well, you know, having my own daughter, nieces and nephews, and taking care of other people's children and their hair for years. All these different, all the different movement that they have. So the book was a big one for this one mom. It was like, wow. And then when her daughter said, "It doesn't hurt, mommy," it was like, I love to hear that, because they're just like, wow. And it's like, and they breathe. And I'm like, remember to breathe, because this is not supposed to be frustrating. It can be, because you're like, their texture's not like mine. You have moms with like 3 different textures. Mom with a texture, another texture, and 2 textures here. What do we use? And if I can recommend even one styling product that everyone in the house can use, and how you would use it, it's like they're just relieved. And it makes all the hair days easier. And then the kids also know, well, hey, it gives them a better understanding and more compassion for the mom coming in. Moms, dads, aunts, uncles, whoever is the caregiver.
It also gives the child, as they grow older, a more appreciation for their natural hair.
Yes,
because they see that it's not a huge process. You know, it doesn't have to be something you dread. And you know, it leads them to more embracing their natural instead of wanting to go and get a relaxer and just, you know, take the easy way out of doing their hair.
And we're people, and they're sensitive. So when you're coming into the first time, even like if you're coming into a space and you've never been in a sink, it's a new experience. You're coming a new person, and it is different in that way from going into school. It's another level, because you're crowned, that you're crowning glory. Someone is in your hair. There has to be a level of trust with that you know, that they're over your scalp. They're working, they're touching your body. That's your hair that's growing out of your head. So, you know, you want to have that talk. And when we do that, it makes things easy, because now this foundation is laid. They learn things like, you know, it's not disrespectful to ask questions about your hair, because a lot of naturals, and I've had adult naturals have this, where they won't say anything. It's just like, well, this is what I want. And then they don't say, oh, well, I have questions about this, because they've been taught, well, don't ask questions. There's too many questions, and that question is complicated. If I don't have the answer, I'm going to find the answer out. But at least I say, well, you know, write these questions down that you have. I'm going to do my best to answer all the questions. But I already have a guideline that usually you only have any after you finish with me. You know, you have too many questions to ask once I walk through it, because I've been asked so many of them. But I'm sure there's going to be new questions that come up.
And that's good though, because it's nice to be able to come into a comfortable environment. Because a lot of naturals that I've heard say that they go to get their hair done, or they go to a salon and they're afraid, and then the stylist starts doing this and they're afraid to say, you know, don't do that, you know?
Right, and that's one of the things where it's like, you want to, if you have the consult, which many natural professionals do. There are not a lot of us in the area, like I was speaking about New Jersey. There are enough of us, and then I'm friends with a lot of the other naturals or natural professionals. It's a little bit for everybody. You're anxious because you want to help the person, you want to make sure you can answer their questions, you don't know what their experience has been when they're coming in, but you're looking to provide the best information possible so that they can trust that you know what you're doing for what you know. And they're not expected to know everything. That's why we work in groups and we network and talk, and then we can share experiences so that we can best help naturals. And then you go somewhere else and you're like traumatized, and you come back and like, wow, if I had just took 10 minutes, some of this just 10 minutes, a few things I can say are like, oh, and that resolves it, and then you can move forward, and they don't have to have that mistake happen just by being open to having a conversation and knowing that I am going to talk to you about your hair.
Right. And what are some of the tips that you give some of your clients in caring for their natural hair at home?
So, caring for natural at home is always going to be massaging. Sleeping on silver satin, so the at-home part, not like the just I'm at home, I'm out at work as well. So I'm going to cover the at-home. So at home, making sure that you sleep on silver satin. Silk preferably, my favorite is charmeuse. So I recommend charmeuse. It's shiny on one side, dull on the other. You can get an easy cut of a fabric usually under $12. at a fabric store, and you can put across your pillow. We talked about that. Mulberry silk made from mulberry silkworms, and Japanese habata or habata silk, like this one from one of my friends, Pretty Antoinette. So I'll mention her because she's local and close by, has great silk and does a lot of events with us. So I tell people, sleep on silk or satin. Satin you can also get at a beauty supply store. It is a version of polyester.
Right.
Satin or sateen, but the silks are going to be the best. It doesn't have to be dupioni, which is usually for heavy drapes and decorative pillows. And China silk is often for shears and clothing. So that's not the type of silk that the average person would be sleeping on. So we do cover that. We do that in head wrapping classes and well, what kind of silk is it, especially if you're not used to it. So that or wrapping the hair. What would you massage with? It could be your finger flesh, your finger pads, not your nails.
Right.
A grapeseed oil, which is a carrier. And then in our consults, we'll cover different essential oils that you can use for massage. Or if there's a specific product that you have to use to grow in breakage areas, what that would be. So tips like that, sleeping on silk or satin and massaging for at-home care. If you're wearing 2-strand flat twists and you plan to do a twist out in a few days, you know that day 3 or 4 at night, you can put a little bit of a natural mousse, one of the natural mousses we recommend on those twists. So when you twist out the next day, you now reset the style or look in order to have more longevity. It'll last longer generally, depends on your hair texture, density, the type of hair. It may be that if your normal flat twist that looks nice, has definition for 2 days, you might get 4 days. But the at-home care, glycerin in the wintertime, I know we're going to come to that, so let's get to that. Don't think about the glycerin. Glycerin comes up, you're using glycerin at nighttime in the warmth of your home, but not spraying or using glycerin-filled products, leaving in the morning when it's below 30 degrees. So tips are massaging and sleeping on silk or satin.
As far as tips, what are some of the ingredients that we should be avoiding other than the normal sulfates and parabens?
Okay, so besides the sulfates and the parabens and the phthalates, and I talk about petroleum, petrolatum, gasoline, all the same thing. The cheapest base, Vaseline is gasoline. You don't want to use Vaseline or like gasoline products, petroleum on your scalp and hair in your body. You want to avoid mineral oil, paraffins. You want to avoid DMDM. So if you look at DMDM, you don't even need to worry about the 3 possible chemical words that come after that, but there are at least three different chemical terms for this ingredient. I'm still not sure why product companies put it in the product. Like, I'll never understand that. It can cause scalp itching, flaking, headaches, lesions. I hate to say it, but I don't. I love you. I want to make sure that you know that these are some of the things that I've seen from even the most sensitive scalps that have used a product that has that ingredient in it. Also, sodium hydroxide. It's not talked about. Sodium hydroxide is in some mainstream companies that are not natural or known to be. They put it in their tooth conditioner, 2-in-1s. Sodium hydroxide is lye, the chemical and relaxer. So it's being slipped in, and I'll say slipped, but it's on the label. It's being placed in products, and then you have naturals that will use the product. If you don't read your label, you could easily be subject to using a product that will not only eat away at your hair strand, it can take out your hair and create hair fall because you're natural and you didn't ask for a relaxer in your conditioner. So there are companies that just make that. So you definitely want to look out for the petroleum, petrolatum, petro. They don't put petro, that's on the trucks. Petroleum, petrolatum, mineral oil, DMDM, your sodium hydroxide, PEGs and PPGs and disodium ETA, water softeners and things like that. They're added to products as sometimes chemical preservatives, but those same chemicals as solvents melt things away. So they're going to make your hair dry. I don't tell people to avoid fully. It depends on the texture and what your results are. On occasion, if you're going to use a product with a comb, you have to know how to wash it out because it's going to come up. Some people can totally avoid them, but others, you know, a dimethicone or a comb may come up in a product. You just have to know how to clean with it and make sure that everything else surrounding it is not that. And that may be something you need to totally come off completely. 6 months, 9 months, a year of no comb products so that you can truly feel your hair, because the combs put a protective, unnatural coating on hair that needs water to absorb through. And the cone is on there to not absorb water. Generally, for those who are going to be straightening their hair or who are wearing a relaxer, it's not for naturals. It's not going to make natural hair feel good, because you want your natural hair to be buoyant and elastic. And even buoyant, elastic, fulfilled hair and strands, if you were the natural that likes to blow out, is going to press out easier because it's filled before you straighten it. If it's not filled, you're just flattening it and making it thin, and it's going to...
The last question I have is about winter care. What is the biggest winter care tip that you can give now?
So the biggest winter care tip that I can give naturals, and some of you are going to be a little surprised by this, is not protective styling. So I am an advocate of washing your hair as much as possible. If you are wearing a protective style, however, you should massage every day. You want to massage with your finger flesh, some lavender essential oil or one of your favorite essentials, or you can contact us about consulting to find out what's best for you. And that 3 to 4 weeks into your extension style, that your scalp be clean, and that you're using some type of refresher sprays with your extensions. So I'm going to talk about the protective style part, but I'm going to go now to what you should be doing is actually washing your hair more often. So I have this theme, don't be a bear, take care of your hair. So when the winter time comes, it's like you want to hibernate and the temperature drops. And the humidity in this region, because I'm speaking to those of us who were in the New Jersey, New York, PA, Connecticut, where there are seasons and it does tend to get cold. When the temperature drops, those of you who are doing wash and goes may not want to do as many wash and goes. If you feel uncomfortable doing the wash and go because it's cold, what you are to do is you'll do your styling then at night. You can do mini pineapples, which is mini ponytails all around. You're going to work with more rich emollient butters, not so many of the light leave-ins. You're going to work more with your styling creams. I'll just recommend two that I do recommend to my clients, and this does depend on your hair texture, density, length, and type. I like the Jane Carter Curl Defining Cream. Okay, that works really well. That was made for kinky, curly naturals. It was not made specifically for biracial hair in that line that was made for biracial.
I have a demo of that video on my channel. I'll look at it.
Yeah, so I have a lot of clients who get results who have that textured hair that really need it. For some it can be too heavy, but then they know how to add water. So that, also the Curls Twist and Shout Cream. So those are two that are very natural and very effective. The Jane Carter you can use Monday, Wednesday, Friday, co-wash it out, sugar scrub, start over. The Twist and Shout, you'd have to add a lot more water to it to have that flexibility. So that one you'd have to actually just braid with it or twist with it and use a refresher spray. My favorite refresher spray is the Heritage Rose Water Glycerin. That is a refresher spray. It refreshes a look or style, giving it moisture that it needs, the wet, without redoing your entire hairstyle. But you should be washing your hair more often in the winter months and using more emollient butters, and also your deep conditioning. You don't want to miss out on those monthly deeps. They're amazing. We do classic deeps here. Client feedback for years has been 2 weeks, a minimum, of less tangles, more moisture, easier styling, better twist outs, just from having a deep. When we do the co-wash and the sugar scrub, and then these mini buns are set in all around the head. It's wrapped in like a plastic wrap or a cape, and the body heat, natural body heat rises to warm the perimeter, and then the middle. It's worked wonders for years. So, and if it's one of the signature blends with the other essential oils, you're getting aromatherapy like a spa treatment. So you don't want to skip your deeps. You do want to dedicate time to yourself. We talked about, when I talked to Sophia off camera, about self-care. It really is the time to step up your game in terms of relaxation. So all these hours in a week, naturals, we have to make time for ourselves. You have to make that 2 hours, whether it's coming in to studio, salon space, workshop to do it in a hair party, or at home, or a combination of everything. This is important. Your health is your wealth. Your hair is going to be amazing, and everything just feels better and makes it easier. And then the the winter cold is not going to affect your hair in the same way ever again if you start dedicating more time to it. So we want to carve out that time. So that's my winter tip, is to wash your hair more often. Skip the shampoo. You know, I'm not an advocate of shampoo. Co-washing, sugar scrubbing, and following up with a leave-in or with a styling cream or with a styling butter. For those of you who can do gel and will do gel, everyone's not to use gel, with a gel. So we teach here how to do this where you don't have to layer products. We get results without layering creams and gels and butters. You shouldn't have to put that much in your hair. It's about hydration, care, and that clean canvas. And if you can't wash it more often, you're going to do your braids, you're going to do your twist, you're going to massage, you're going to spritz at night, sleep on silk or satin and or wrap. You don't have to do both. And that's those are your ones. So you're about to get it's more than a wash and go. It's actually called a classic cleanse, flow and glow. So after you get a classic cleanse, you're flowing and glowing out of the studio or wherever you have your classic cleanse. So the product we're going to use for your sugar scrub today will be the coconut lemon cake. It smells so good you wish you could eat it, but don't. It's a scalp and hair treat. So what's special about coconut lemon cake is it's our original first blend. It has lemon and lemongrass essentials. So just a brief cleansing, uplifting, renewing, helps with mental clarity, focus, having a clear mind. And then the lemongrass is very uplifting. It's used in factories in different countries to boost worker morale, so you can get a feeling for what that's going to be. Lemongrass has an essential oil. It is taken from lemongrass, which grows abundantly. So anything that comes from a source that grows abundantly would be helping you to grow abundantly. So that's how those essential oils will work. They're going to work in your scalp, hair, and body. The lemon 1 to 2 hours, the lemongrass up to 8, because they're both aromatherapeutic. So they are aromatherapy, they're essential oils. And they're based in coconut and sunflower. So the scrub itself is a blend of coconut and sunflower oils. You have a heavy oil and a semi-dry. So the two together create balance. If you like the coconut, it has a great scent. Right, so there's some glycerin in there. And the sunflowers blossom like the sun. So the whole blend is really amazing. And there's also some cinnamon in there. The cinnamon speeds things up. That's one of the qualities of the spice, and you use it for other things, you know, like how that works in the body, but it is great in the scalp. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to get you set up with your capes, have you lean into the sink. I'm going to saturate your scalp and hair with a natural conditioner, which she'll be showing you all of you fans and friends in screenshots and other pictures, the conditioner recommendations. And these are really basic conditioners where you can trust that it's going to be natural and a great bang for your buck. You can still use other conditioners, but these are the ones I've chosen specifically to use with the hair sugars so that you can feel the aromatherapy. It can work through the fragrance-free 365, works well with that, and we have some other natural conditioner recommendations.
Yes.
Okay. That's really all I need.
my hair feels amazing. The scalp is very, very soft. And for me, I have a sensitive area here in the middle, and it doesn't feel sensitive at all to the touch. So
That's
amazing.
Nice. So it's amazing.
Yes, I am amazed.
Yeah, that sugar scrub does that.
Yes.
You're gonna feel so good for so long, so many hours after this.
Yes.
So what I just did was put a little bit of structured water, the Dr. Brown structured water that everyone knows is one of my top recommended products. My own hair sugar, the Dr. Brown structured water. I do make a note of that Beautiful Curls by Ahava Felicidad. It's one of my faves. We talked about the Jane Carter Curl Defining Cream, the Twist and Shout Hair Cream. We talked a little bit about, we didn't talk about the Dr. Naturals gel, but we'll cover those things in other like workshops and classes to come and in consults. But today I'm using the Beautiful Curls. Their line actually has 3 different leave-in conditioners. They are more like styling creams because of the ingredients in them. The base of shea butter, and this is an exception, it's at that 30% or less in a blend.
Right.
So it's shea, coconut, emulsifying wax, butyronium chloride, which is derived from coconut, and panthenol. So out of their 3 leave-ins, what they call leave-ins, so that's the category you're gonna find it in. They're all gonna work the same in terms of how I use them in all textures of hair. So even though they say wavy curly or baby sensitive or kinky curly on the side, that's to make it easier for the natural who doesn't really know what they should get to choose a product, but all 3 of them can be used interchangeably. So I added the structured water, which makes the products hydrating. At the cellular level, now it's going to absorb deeper into your hair strands. So we're already using good natural products, but now we're making them greater by adding structured water to them, which will now get into that 25% of the hair strand that is water, that also helps with your elasticity and your curl pop. So I use that word a lot, elasticity. Your curl pop, your kinks coil, your wavy swavy, and then straight hair stronger. So we do have naturals, of course. Natural hair crosses in many categories in terms of textures of hair. You have some people who are kinky wavy, some people who have a straight bottom or straight or wavy nape of the neck, and then they have some wavy kinky hair in the middle, so it covers all textures.
Right, because I noticed with me, mine is a little bit more wavier in the back.
Yes, so you have that smoother wavy curl back here. You have almost the entire, it's like a V for you.
Right.
And all back here, this is wavy curly hair.
Yes.
So this will fall in that 3 category on the Andre Walker scale, which is on the Curls website.
Right.
That's what I use when if someone wants to really like know pictures or what their curl pattern is. But you have mixed textures.
Right.
So it's kinky curly, but then you have curls and waves all under here that are smooth. And then here there's more texture right above it at like the middle of your ear.